Hello. Oh, hi. Hello. Hi. I am here to demonstrate radical self love in action. I am personally feeling, really tired and uh, disheartened and unmotivated. And there's this part of me that I'm very familiar with that is up, that wants to give up. It's like this energy of like wants to like just like pull me into this, yeah, just kind of withdrawn, disconnected, safe little cocoon space, because I'm feeling, yeah, all those other things that I mentioned, disheartened and so typically people would probably, or I could and probably have in the past, beaten myself up about it, like, oh God, you're such a loser. Look, you can't even pull your shit together anymore. Those kind of voices, making myself wrong, villainizing myself. And then, or the other way is just like shove it down, push it aside, override it, use my will. Come on, I can do this, and kind of, yeah, go into this kind of compensating place. So instead, what I have learned in studying Hakomi and internal family systems and the teachings of Tara Brach and yoga is instead to meet whatever arises, using the words of Matt Kahn, with love. Whatever arises, love that. And so I'm going to go through the process here so you can witness it. And, if you're facing some sort of challenging emotion, feelings, thoughts that are like getting in the way of you really being present and enjoying your life and moving forward on something, go ahead and do it along with me, or watch and then do it afterwards. So I'm going to use Tara Brach's RAIN process because it's the easiest to kind of like lay out step by step. Um, but it's really all of them, from Hakomi to IFS um, to Kripalu Yoga. It's all pretty much the same process, which is, yeah, our RAIN is recognize. So I recognize that I'm feeling this way. I've named it. I'm acknowledging it. I'm owning it. Um, yeah. So I recognize it rather than trying to avoid it or make it push it away. I recognize it. I meet it. I be with it. And then, yeah, I'm going to breathe because that always helps. The A is accept. So rather than, again, than make it wrong, try to make it go away, it's just going to like give some space to allow. I think it's allow. Accept, allow, similar things. So I'm just going to allow it to be there, give it some space, and it may get stronger. Oh, yeah. Oh. Oh, yeah. So allowing it allowed more to be felt, to come to the surface, to be known. It transformed a little bit into some of the sadness that you saw. There was kind of a bit of like a relief as it rose and was felt and released. And so, oh, maintaining that space of allowing, I'm going to flow into investigate. The I of rain is investigate, which isn't a mental process. It's more of a whole being process of like delving into it. Because I could allow from this witness place, or I can actually investigate, which means like go into it, get curious about it, let myself be willing to feel everything that's there, to allow any memories, other feelings, thoughts to come up about it. I notice my throat is getting tight. Oh, whew. More sadness. Kind of like feelings of hopelessness. That tightness in my throat is lighting up a little bit, but still there. So I'm just being with it, being curious, not trying to make it go away or change it, just meeting it with love and open curiosity. It's always good to have tissues on hand when doing this process. Oh. Yeah, I'm connecting to this energy of this little girl. And that feeling like nobody cares about me, nobody wants to play with me. That really strong feeling of rejection and um, isolation and like almost even danger. Oh yeah. Oof. Oh God, it always feels so good to let those emotions be felt and released. I'm just like feeling some like space opening up and the tightness in my throat is gone. I'm feeling tightness in my head though, so I'm gonna investigate, get curious, meet that, be with that, allow it. Yeah, it's kind of like getting these thoughts, this sense of like, I'm just so caught in the past. I'm like, in in IFS, we have those parts that are like really, they're frozen in time. And yeah, I just like this really fixed idea of people, that people are mean and don't care about me. This is my 10-year-old little girl talking. I was in an accident when I was 10, and I had a big gash here. So I had these big stitches, and I went to school. It was around the time that The Exorcist came out, the movie. And so instead of being met with like sympathy or care or like, oh my goodness, what happened to you? Are you okay? Instead, I was met with like, oh God, you're ugly. Oh, you're the exorcist. And I was completely ostracized and no one would play with me. For what felt like a year. I don't know, in my little brain, it was like a whole year. I'm not sure. But yeah, it really left obviously a huge imprint of like rejection and all these fixed ideas about other people not being, uh, not liking me, not accepting me, being mean, that I'm not wanted, that there's something wrong with me. And that makes me really sad. Of course, because of course I don't want to think that way anymore. Oh, and it's not my present day reality. So, oh, but it's these younger parts just They need to be seen, they need to be heard, they need to be understood. And it's like, God, of course, like how awful that was for you, little Shaeah. And like meeting it with compassion. That was really shitty of those kids and a really shitty experience to have as a little girl. And when all I wanted to do was play and have fun and enjoy the playground and enjoy being a kid, and that was kind of taken away from me. So yeah, whew, bringing a lot of compassion. And so I'm actually kind of jumping the gun a bit, because at this point what I would do is like ask, okay, this part, like once I've met it and allowed it and felt it and really gone into it, and it's like, okay, what do you need? It's the nurture. So the N of rain is nurture. What do you need? Oh, yeah, just like need some kindness, some gentleness, some care, some understanding. Which I already started to give a bit spontaneously, naturally, because I've done this process so many times. It's like, yeah, I totally get it. That was really shitty. I totally understand why you would feel this way and why it would hurt so much. Oh, I'm really sorry that happened. Oh. And so I feel that part of me kind of settling a bit, like, oh, like kind of feeling, yeah, feeling met, feeling seen, feeling heard, feeling understood. It's like relaxing. It's like, oh, yeah, okay, someone gets it. Oh. And then this is where the rain process would end, or Tara would say, like, we would go into after the rain. So we would just sit for a few moments in silence and stillness and just breathe and be with whatever's there, that spaciousness that's opened up, that tenderness. So I'm going to do that for a little bit. And then I'm going to go into a little more where the IFS would kick in. Oh. Oh. Oh, yeah, I'm enjoying that, because kind of settled feeling and like more open space, and I thank, so that it's just again spontaneously coming up, as because I've done this so often, is like just thanking that part of me for showing up, for letting itself be seen and known, and trusting me. Ah, and then in IFS, there's what's called an unburdening process of like, I would meet that little girl and say, all those icky feelings of betrayal and hurt and sadness and oh, all this ickiness, this heaviness, you've been carrying it a long time. It's really heavy, and none of that was your fault. And I'd like to give you an opportunity, offer you an opportunity to unburden. Let go. It's an unburdening process to let go of that if you're ready and willing. If you'd like to let go, and already like she's like, oh my god, yes, please. I'm like, she's like, I don't want this. It sucks. So I'm like, okay, great. So let's do this together. We're going to unburden together. So we're going to choose something that's bigger than us. It can be like a force of nature, like the ocean, the sun. Could be like a black hole, star system. Um, yeah, anything that a mountain, a tree. Uh, she likes the ocean. So we're gonna go to the ocean in our imagination. And oh, she wants to jump in. I was gonna say we could just offer to the ocean, or we could, yeah, she's like, let's jump in. So we're gonna jump into the ocean and just like whoosh, just let the ocean just wash over us, and just all those waves of the ocean just take all these icky feelings away. Whew. Oh, yeah, and anything there that's still lingering or hanging on, just like, whew. Whew. Oh, letting ourselves be washed clean of the past, of these burdens of the past. They're no longer serving us. And I already see her kind of like getting lighter and kind of jumping up and down and wanting and splashing, and her playfulness coming out. And then this is the next phase of the IFS process, where we would kind of reclaim any lost qualities of that little girl. And so, yeah, what's coming up is like playfulness and excitement and innocence and creative. Like she loved to be creative and play and to touch. She really liked to touch. To like hold her friend's hand, like hold hands, and oh, and trust. So just allowing those aspects of that little girl that kind of went dormant or got squashed to come back alive, to be reignited, to come alive. Whew. Yeah. Oh, and then one more piece is so that that part isn't just living in the past, because she thinks we're still 10. And so I'm going to bring her into my present day life and say, hey, do you want to look around? You want to see what, I'm 50 now. And look at this amazing life I have. Look at this beautiful room that I get to do my work in, covered with like beautiful art that friends have done, beauty, the sacred temple that I've created, and this house, this amazing house that I get to live in. It's like this beautiful heritage house that we painted. We had the walls painted, chose these bright, fun colors, bright yellow kitchen, and bright orange living room, and beautiful blue bedroom and bathroom. And we have this amazing hot tub, and I have this amazing cat who's very playful. And the best of all is this amazing partner that I'm not alone. I have a playmate and who loves me and adores me and supports me and believes in me and loves to play with me. And we go on adventures together and travel together and make amazing love together. And he gave me a massage this morning, and yeah, we have a really wonderful life. And she's like, whoa, wow, oh my God, how did this happen? You were such a loser. The 10-year-old who was ostracized, who had no friends, and was like this ugly, scarred kid who didn't think she would ever meet anyone who could love her because she was so ugly. And she's like, wow, wow, that's pretty cool. What an amazing life. How did this happen? I'm like, yeah, because we're awesome. And I've worked really hard. Big Shaeah, adult Shaeah, has worked really hard on cultivating and growing love for herself and improving communication skills and healing past wounds, taking responsibility for myself so that I can have this amazing relationship with this incredible man who trusts me because I am so committed to my work and committed to love. Yeah. So that is the power of radical self-love, my friends, to transform a part that is wounded and trying to protect us. All these parts try to protect us from getting hurt more. So they're like, she was just like, cocoon, cocoon. Don't make yourself vulnerable to rejection again. Give up. Yeah, stop. You stop before someone else gets a chance to hurt you more. That's how these parts operate. But it's not in alignment with reality, with present day reality. And so the path of radical self-love is really, yeah, being devoted to getting to know all the parts of us that are still hurting, that are stuck in the past, that are running the show from a place of unconsciousness, from fixed ideas and thoughts that were made and in the past based on past traumas and aren't relevant, and healing them, integrating is another word, loving them into being. One of Rumi's quotes I love so much is, our task is to not seek for love, but to seek and find all the barriers we have built against it and love them. And that's what I just did, is to, love this barrier to being able to show up and have energy and enthusiasm for my work, for my life. And now I feel like, clear. I was feeling so foggy, so tired. I had no energy for anything. I have energy. I'm clear. My heart is open. My body's open. I feel, that I can get to work and I can show up for my beloved and I can, just meet whatever comes my way because I am resourced. I'm connected to myself, capital S self, which is the true authentic self, the essential self, which is wisdom, wise and compassionate and loving and resourced. And so, if you want a little taste of what it is to be seen and heard in sacred space, to do some practices cultivating radical self-love, I invite you to join me this evening for Awakening Through Radical Self-Love free intro. And it's complimentary. And the link to register is there or there, not sure which. And would love to share sacred space with you. Feel free to ask me any questions, send me any questions or comments. And I invite you to meet yourself with love and compassion and give yourself space to feel your feels. They are valid. And give yourself a gift tonight of being in a sacred container of other sisters to cultivate self-love, radical self-love. Have a blessed day. Hope to see you tonight.